Pronunciation or accent. What is the difference, and when should people actually consider working on their accent? Hello, my name is Tila Raja. I'm a speech pathologist and I work with people who want to change their accents. Now, I get asked this question a lot of times about what is an accent, what is a pronunciation, and when do I actually have to look at changing it? So I thought I'll just do a quick little video on this and talk you guys through about the differences between accent and pronunciation or articulation. Do you know that research has indicated that some words have the ability to get us really a bit worked up, a bit steamed up, and get a bit more emotions about this word. And one of the words that causes an increased BP is the word accent. Funny that, huh? Well, mainly because the broad definition of an accent is pronunciation. Most people, when they hear, he's got an accent, they conjure up negative comments and thoughts about the person that they're talking about. In reality, you cannot speak in any language without an accent. The Queen of England has an accent, just like you have an accent, I have an accent. It's just a different way of speaking. Now, a simple definition of an accent. It is actually a distinctive way of pronouncing a word. That's as simple as it is. And it's a distinctive way of pronouncing a language, and it's frequently associated with a particular country, an area, or social class. So the accent of a person reveals some things about the person. One of it is it gives you a rough idea about the location that they grew up at. For example, if we listen to native English speakers, we can usually tell if they're from the UK, from Canada, from Australia, or from the US, or from any other English-speaking country. So it gives you an indication about where the person maybe grew up or learned English at. The other thing an accent tells about a person is their socioeconomic status. So each language, English or any other language that you speak, has a variety of ways you speak it. So one is the broad version, one is the general version, and one is the prestige version. So in general terms, many speakers regard the prestige version as very socially upper class, and broad versions of a language fall at the lower end of the spectrum. The main population is usually in the general part of an accent. So if someone says I've got a really broad accent, then they would think that you are from a lower socioeconomic status, or you belong to one. Or if you sound really crisp and really proper and really very clear and enunciated, they might think you are from a prestige upper class social setting. Okay, and the third thing, I made a mistake in there. Third thing an accent could tell us is it gives you clues about someone's first language when they are speaking a second language. So one language always influences the way another language sounds. For example, when a native French-speaking person speaks in English, they speak it with a French accent. So when you listen to them, you go, oh, you must speak a lot of French because your French is overlaying a little bit of your English, which is not a bad thing. It just tells you where they come from, right? And some accents, it's a personal thing. Some accents sound nicer to your ears than others, but that is a matter of personal choice. Now, what is a pronunciation? What is the meaning of pronunciation? Pronunciation simply means the way we pronounce sounds, a specific sound. So the way we move our mouths, our lips, our jaw, or tongue to articulate specific sounds. So the main difference between an accent and a pronunciation is the way we pronounce the words with different speech melody. So, you have the words, have heard the words tomato, tomato. They both mean the same thing. Right? The pronunciation of each word is clear. Tomato, tomato. I'm saying all my T sounds clearly. I'm saying all my O sounds clearly. I'm saying all my M sounds clearly. And the only difference is the way I've said it. The only difference is the way I put the stress on the word. So that's the only difference in there. Okay, like data, data. I've said each word, each sound correctly, but I've just put a different emphasis and I've lengthened some of the vowel sounds. So that is the main difference. So I hope that gives you a rough idea about, an accent and a pronunciation. And look, accents are a great part of someone's life. I've got an accent, you've got an accent, whatever the accent may be. I think they add to someone's cultural identity and image, because you don't really want to sound like someone when you're not from there. If you're not born in America and brought up in America, you don't want to sound like an American, do you? You just, and it tells you, it keeps you a little bit of your identity to yourself. And imagine a world where every single person spoke the same way. That is a bit of a boring thought, I think. I mean, imagine a world when everyone dresses the same way, wears the same clothes. It's the same as that. Speaks the same way, dresses the same way. It would just be boring. So a little bit of spice, a little bit of variety is brilliant. The only time I would advocate for someone to work on the accent or to reduce the strength of an accent, that means, working a little bit of pronunciation, working on the melody, working on the speech intonation. The only time I advocate for someone to work on the accent is when you're having a really hard time being understood, when you have a lot of questions about, say that again, can you repeat that, I didn't get you, just way too many times. And, and if you're getting comments about I can't understand you, or difficulties in understanding you, especially during job interviews, team meetings or social communication, or when you're on the phone, that's about the only time I would look into improving my accent. So I hope that helped everybody. Would love to hear your comments and thoughts and questions. And if you'd like me to do a video on question and answer, please do let me know, and I'm happy to upload one with any questions and answers you guys might have. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.